and welcome back. We are in part 2 of the personal brand mini-series. If you haven't already, please check out part 1, which was personal brand and how to identify it. But if you have already watched part 1, congratulations. We have style words, and now we are ready to ignite them and apply it to our visual life. So let's get started. In this video, we're going to go into a 3-step process how to ignite it. So firstly, we've already identified our style word. So now we want to go ahead and define it visually and represent it through our brand aesthetic, visual cues. Secondly, we want to put those visual cues into a mood board. So we want to get inspired. And thirdly, go into the daunting yet rewarding part of the process, which would be closet detox or auditing your closet to better understand what we currently have and see if that ties in to our newfound personal brand. Part 1, we want to go ahead and translate our style words into visual cues and style terms, a way of dressing or a clothing item that correlates to that style word. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to my example just for explanation purposes. So my dominant style word was classic. Visual cues that come to me when I think of classic is tried and true pieces that aren't fleeting, that are always around, right? The cut and silhouette may change, but the overall style of it is the same from year to year. So I think of a blazer, a button down, a trench coat, straight leg jeans or a trouser, a denim jacket, natural fibers, right? Your cotton, your linen, your silk, all those materials. So those are the visual cues I think correlate to that style word. Effortless, I think of something that's relaxed, a little more on the casual side. And keep in mind that your visual cues don't necessarily need to be a clothing item, right? It could speak to you in a color when you style a piece, right? Whether you roll up your sleeve or have more of a half tuck or full tuck, the cut of a garment or even an accessory. So I wouldn't limit yourself to tying in your style words with specific clothing items. I would keep an open mind and think back on what characteristics speak to you in terms of your style words. So going back to effortless, t-shirt, leggings. In terms of a non-clothing item, I think of a raw hem on a denim pant or cut-off short, right? Sneakers. In terms of a style technique, maybe a half tuck rather than a full tuck. Rolled up sleeves or scrunch sleeves, right? A nice drape or an elastic waistband, a jogger for instance. In terms of fit, so a relaxed or oversized. So that to me communicates effortless, which goes into my style word. In terms of my third one, bold. When I think of visual cues that are bold, I think of a leather jacket, combat boots, animal print, bright colored accessory, architectural or statement details in a heel or in a seam, bold red lip, geometric prints, graphic tees, things that have a little bit of an edge, something that's eye-catching, communicates just pizzazz, right? A vibe. So those are examples of how I would recommend translating style words to visual cues. And then once you have your visual cues written down for each of your style words, now's the time to start seeking it out, right? And creating a mood board or a vision board. I find that visuals are extremely powerful and just attracting the life you want. In this example, being able to get a full picture of the brand that you're trying to emulate and the style, techniques, and overall look that you're trying to achieve to communicate those 3 style words, aka your personal brand. I feel like the easiest way to do that is to create a mood board. Now, I'm sure that some of you will ask, how come we didn't build a mood board in part 1 of the mini-series when we were trying to find our style words? I know there's style content out there that recommends seeking your style words by building a mood board, whether that be Pinterest or looking at Google Images, to then find patterns based on what you gravitate to image-wise. But I would argue that if you really want to identify your personal brand, the true essence of you, then I recommend digging deep. Going back to part 1 of the series, figuring out your backstory, your history, what the essence of you, your values, your emotion, and your intentions. And then based on that exercise, finding your style words that way. Because what we don't want to do is complete a mood board based on influence, right? We want to build a mood board that's a form of inspiration for us. That's something that we're outwardly looking for. Here's a cutaway here of a mood board that I created for myself as winter inspiration that I feel ties back to my 3 style words: classic, effortless, and bold. So when I was able to write down all my visual cues that tie into those style words, that's essentially what I came up with. So for instance, on the top right corner, you'll see a beautiful woman here with a classic trench coat jacket. It's boldness of the leather trouser. But the relaxed component is that elastic waistband, which we love, right? Comfort is key. So just within those 3 visual cues, just in that outfit alone, speaks to my personal brand. Makes sense? That's how it comes together. Then you have images here of a lipstick or jewelry, just style techniques. So by building a mood board, you'll really start to get a sense of how your style words are coming to life, and then you can start emulating those pieces as you look into your wardrobe. Which brings me to part 3. Bear with me here. As daunting and complex as this process is, it is necessary. And I am a big proponent of mindful consumption and shopping your closet, especially in this day and age where inflation has affected all of us, right? So I know I will be really honing into shopping my closet and mixing and matching. So step 3 is auditing your closet. I've laid out a few steps to make it manageable. Again, don't be overwhelmed. This is going to take some time, and you really want to break it out into building blocks. That way it becomes more of an enjoyable, thought-provoking, and insightful experience for you versus something that's stressful, something like that. But this is the point where you want to review your wardrobe through the lens of your value, emotion, and intention, right? Your style words, and make the appropriate adjustments accordingly, right? You're going to look through your entire wardrobe and start sorting out, kind of get a gauge on, okay, does this still speak to me? Does it resonate with my newfound style words, or does it, right? So the first step that I use when I'm doing my detox and with my clients is, first you want to group your entire wardrobe in different categories. So your tops, bottoms, layering pieces, dresses, outerwear, footwear, and your accessories. So once you have everything in groups, you want to start out with the easiest part, right? Setting all items aside that spark joy, your love pile, essentially. In terms of how you would define your love pile, start asking, is this an item that I wear frequently? Is it an item that is considered my go-to on my weekly or monthly rotation? Is it something that I've worn within the last year? Is it an item that's sentimental to me in some regard? If any of those items check those boxes, then I would deem that as part of your keep pile, okay? Because we want to start out easy, right? And no-brainer, no more than 5 to 10 seconds, right? It's either a hell yes or it's a maybe. Think of it in that way. Secondly, you want to set aside all of your pieces that you would need to discard. So any pieces that just visually have rips, holes, maybe a worn out elastic waistband, visible defects that is beyond repair, unacceptable to donate or sell. So those are the two piles I would start with. Now, what's left is what I call your undefined pile, right? These pieces, in my mind, are probably something that you've had for a while, but for whatever reason, you're not able to part with. You were drawn to in some capacity, bought it, but maybe you're having trouble styling it, right? In a way that resonates with you and your personal style. Or maybe it's something that you're not sure about. I think that's where you can start looking back in your style words, compare it to your keep pile, and then get an understanding of, okay, through what I've kept in my style words, do I feel like I can leverage any of these undefined pieces? If not, consider either donating it or set aside in storage and revisit in a year. Once you have designated a home for your maybe pile for every single category, from your tops, bottoms, outerwear, footwear, etc., you have one big keep pile. Next, go in and organize your closet. And it would now be a compilation of everything you love and that speaks to your personal brand. So that is the end of part 2. Pretty straightforward, but I believe the steps in itself and physically doing it will take time, but I guarantee you it's worth it. It's going to be so rewarding, and you are going to not only fall in love with your closet again, but you're gonna just walk with a sense of swag, confidence, and empowerment, walking as your authentic self and staying true to you and your newfound brand. That is the conclusion of part 2. Part 3 is to come, and we'll focus more so applying the principles of style in order to flourish in it, right? So turning that volume way up. I look forward to seeing you in part 3. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.